I know a big one we used to audit for is like, this is when I worked at Amazon, where we scaled up for Black Friday, right? Like we would just go through, we knew year over year there's gonna be like maybe 50% more traffic. Did every service and retail website have 50% more hosts behind it? And in theory, they don't all need that. Some of them got more efficient. Some of them, don't scale with load, et cetera, et cetera. But every year there was some service that was under scale, right? And so like the simplest detected risk for us on Amazon retail website was, is every service 50% larger this year? If not, who's gonna pull over? And like you go talk to them, and some of them had good reasons too, and some of them didn't have good reasons, right? Like, and that's where that process started. So coming up with this idea of like, what are the list of things we want to assert about every service, and then how do we validate it? And the detected risk were things that were like passive, and then the fault injection were the things that were active, right? Like break a link between your data centers. You say you're in 3 data centers, I can passively detect you're in 3 data centers. Okay, but can you survive if there's a split brain between your data centers? Now I have to inject the fault to validate that's true, right? And so we make a list of all the services. In Amazon, there was over 1,000 tier 1 services. Tier 1 meant if it went down, the retail website went down. So we had 1,000 of these critical services, and then we had a bunch of different failure modes. And for each failure mode, we went through and said, hey, will you survive? Right? Like if this happened. Because if it gets to Black Friday and you're underscaled, or you're not in the right number of data centers, or something else, it's too late. Right? You cannot rack new hosts on Black Friday. You're on Thanksgiving Day, the night before, right? Which I set a lot of calls on Thanksgiving where I got called away from Turkey to be like, hey, we're not going to make it. And you're like, what do you mean? You guys had months to prepare for this. And they're like, yeah, we need to figure something out because we don't have the capacity, or we don't have this other thing, or like latencies are too high and we need more than we thought. And we would scramble around to find extra servers we could allocate. Or worse, it would be the morning, and as traffic revved up, some critical part of the stack would fall over, and all of a sudden you couldn't buy stuff on Black Friday, right? When we're supposedly selling over $3 million a minute or something crazy. I don't even actually remember the numbers, but they were very large numbers, and like your response time is measured in minutes to hours, and you're losing enormous revenue.